I wonder if you can hear me eat this chicken.
I'm like staring across from you, just like watching you chew.
I know, I'm like staring straight back at you like. Okay.
But hey.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey guys.
When'd you get here?
Oh, my bad. I
Welcome.
didn't.
Come
I
inside. No, it's like some weird Blue's Clues.
Come on in.
Come on in.
But hello, we're back.
We are back. It's been a couple months.
A lot has happened for us.
Some accomplishments.
A huge one. We graduated.
We have our bachelors.
Our bachelors.
Yeah. We're still doing it.
And we're still here.
But we're educated
But we're educated. We are qualified
to be doing
book club.
as a film and psych
See,
degrees.
but it can
always
work.
Get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a few months since we recorded, and we have recorded beforehand,
Yeah.
but the audio kind of is not the greatest.
Did we do on the phone?
We did one on the phone because I think I just forgot.
Yeah.
And then we tried doing that, and it worked for like a bit until Kat's former roommate had walked in.
And we're like, oh no, it wasn't even that they were joking around. It was that they were washing dishes.
They were washing dishes, and you could not hear us read.
Just shh.
Yeah, the whole time.
Oh god.
Oh, Lucy. My friend, no comma, Barrett, no comma, because I have more than one friend, Lucy said. My friend, comma, Lucy, comma, I thought, but didn't say.
So, you're new here. We're getting back to it,
Yeah.
but the way this podcast, I guess it's a podcast, works is that we actually read to you.
Yeah. So we don't read in our brain and talk about it. We will audible this stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Not sponsored, but it can be.
Right? No,
Right? No.
We like raw reactions.
Yes.
Like reactions at the moment.
Yes.
We've been doing this for like 2 years.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
I know, because I was just like side note, I was talking to Brooke, and Brooke is one of the first people that like would walk in on us 2 years ago when we were in one of the dorms, Beham, that's what it's called, and there's a lobby, and we would read in the lobby.
Yeah.
And she was like one of the first people to like walk in and be like, "What are you guys doing?" Anyway, so I called her today, and I was like, "Okay, well, I gotta go pick up Lovelyne because we're gonna read." And she was like, "Oh, you guys are still doing that?" And in my head, I'm like, "Well, that's crazy because you were there for one of the first times."
That's insane. Yeah, we've been doing this for 2 years.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. No. Let's have a cake. No.
Well, no.
Well, yeah, we have
done a cake,
Yeah.
but that's kind of what this whole format is. We've started this in like our sophomore year, like spring semester sophomore year, I think.
Like 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like crazy because we just met in a way.
Yeah.
Like we've met in freshman year but never hung out.
Yeah.
Sophomore year was when we hung out.
Yeah.
And then told her that I was reading again.
Yeah.
And then she was interested in it. And then we did something quick. Like I had shared a book to her.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there for when like
the crazy stuff.
the crazy stuff happened like during some of these chapters, and then it kind of stuck.
Yeah, I was like, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, let's do it more.
I don't even remember that conversation happening. Like, I remember that night when we were like talking about, we were like switching between different lounge floors because people kept coming in, but I don't even remember in between that, like trying to plan it. Like I don't
know about planning it, but I just know how it started.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure it was kind of like back we came back from like winter semester. You know, everyone, because we're not from where we're at. We're from Hawaii.
Yeah.
So we're coming from there. And while I was home, I had found like a couple books that I haven't read in a while. And I was like, that's so fun. I missed that. And I started reading again. Because I think this is when like book talk started popping off.
Oh, for sure.
This is where like, you know,
Colleen
Hoover, which we have opinions on her.
Right.
As does everyone else.
Oh, for sure. Allie Hazelwood.
What's it called? From, the freaking Spanish Deception thing?
Oh, Spanish Love Deception.
Oh, sorry.
I forget her name.
Yeah. But that was the book that I had read.
Yeah.
Buying it back home.
Yeah.
Told Kat and like a few of our friends.
Yeah, like the plot. Like you're like,
the
oh
plot.
my God, it's crazy.
I was like, this is insane. And then I eventually was like, you can borrow it. Took Kat a while.
Yeah, like to get it started took me a long ass time. I was like reading the first 2 chapters and then I took a long break, but then suddenly I like dove in and then read a bunch in one night.
And then she told me and she was like, bro, I have like a few more chapters left.
Yeah.
And I guess like that was when we were like, I had asked like, can I be there when you're there?
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'll go to like the lobby right now.
Yeah.
Like
so then that's how it started. And then I think we talked more about it and we were like, this was fun.
Yeah.
We had spent long nights doing this.
Yes. Like again in like low key a public space, which I think is so funny. But I think I liked it when we were away from our places because it's just like less distracting.
Less distractions. And you know, even though we were kind of embarrassed when people would walk into the dorms.
We're talking about some like it'll be like a crazy scene where like something's going down.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like and we're reading out loud.
Yeah.
You know? So
like we're not recording at the time.
No.
So we can't hear each other in our like heads and stuff with our headphones.
Yeah.
So we would sit really close to each other.
Yeah.
And just pass the book around when the both of us don't have the same book.
Yeah.
And yeah, we would just switch between like chapters.
Yeah.
And you know, we've experienced some things at our main lobby that we used to be at until they decided to change the
We had so many traditions too.
Yeah.
So there was like a fireplace and there's the good couches, such comfy couch. And then I would bring my cuz the light what was it? Like the light stopped staying on?
Wouldn't stay on for a certain amount.
Yeah.
Like it was like an energy saving thing.
Yeah.
So it would turn off at a certain hour, but that's when we would like basically start reading.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
it was after everything.
After everything, we haven't seen each other, we would just start talking.
Yeah.
And then, you know, eventually we're like, okay, let's start reading. That's when the lights would go
Yeah,
on.
exactly.
So then Kat had this lamp she would bring. She still has it.
But it was funny because I would be bringing it. So at that point, when we really started getting into book club, I didn't live in the same building anymore. So I would walk over.
Yep.
Because we got to stay in the same lobby. Because that's where the freaking fireplace is. So I would be walking with our uniform that we somehow created.
Yep.
And then I would be having like my snacks, my mug. Because we would always drink hot chocolate. And then I would be holding my frickin' lamp. And then because it's the same night every night, my RA would always see me leaving too. So he would always see me with my frickin' lamp.
Yep.
Walking across. Well, I wasn't walking far, but I was still walking on the street to go to her dorm.
Yeah.
Or to the lounge. And it was just really funny. And then I would plug it in and it would just be on the ground. So it was just this tiny lamp on the ground, like illuminating the area. But it was like tradition at that point, you know. Can't have without it.
You can't. And like at this point, like all of our friends knew that I'm going to go read with Kat.
Yeah.
Like they knew like, okay, have fun. Let me know what the book says.
Yeah.
And then it just became a tradition.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, she had this like comfy, like this big comfy that she got as a gift.
Yeah.
And then I eventually got one.
Yeah, because I mean, it's just, especially when it's cold.
It gets cold here, so I'm like, why not?
Yeah, it's like a big blanket.
Was inspired, so I wanted to get one.
Right.
Got one, and then that kind of moved into like our uniform as well.
During winter. Right now it's so freaking hot.
It's a little too warm for us to do that. So, yeah. And then from then on, like 2 years passed and we're here. We have read like 11 books.
Wow.
I think 12 now technically.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
It is crazy.
It's a crazy number for us. I know people usually read like 28 books in a month.
But like having to coordinate between us two, and we're reading it out loud. So it's not like we can go on our free time and read it. Like we have to read it in person out loud.
And like we refuse to even do that because it just isn't the same anymore.
It's not the same. Like, I get it. Some people were kind of weirded out. Like, they were like, oh, you guys read it out loud? And I'm like, if we did it as kids, why stop it now?
True.
Like, the imagination runs better when you're, like, hearing it. I don't know. I think it's just really funny. Also, how are you supposed to know you're reading at the same time?
Exactly.
Unless you say it out loud.
You know, especially when, like, we have to, like, completely two different schedules going on.
Yeah.
So then, you know, when we find the time it was scheduled, bro. It was like every Tuesdays or every Thursdays, one of the nights, whichever it worked. Yeah. We would make time no matter what.
Yeah, it was one of my only things that I would have a hard time like canceling, cuz I was like, nah, bro, like it's book club.
Yeah. Especially with the books we would read.
Yeah.
Like, there was The Friend Zone.
Yeah.
That one we would do like late nights trying to finish chapters.
Cause it was hard to not. Yeah. Like it was like in the middle of something crazy, and we would have class the next day, but it didn't matter.
It did not matter.
Cause right now I gotta know what happens to this firefighter or whatever. Yeah. You know?
And you know, Colleen Hoover, we are victims of her.
Yeah, we are.
We definitely read the books before like everything like popped up about her.
Yeah.
We know she's a bad person.
Yes. And I think we realized, well, we knew that her writing was like crazy. Yeah. But like really looking into it now, it's like actually really crazy. But
it's insane.
But it's funny to read it with somebody. Yeah. I don't know how I'd feel reading it by myself. Mm-hmm. But like reading it out loud, it's really funny to do with somebody, because it's like her plots are so crazy. Yeah. They're so random.
They're like something that you wouldn't definitely not get in everyday life.
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. Yeah. So I mean, I still have a good time thinking about them, but like, yeah, like as any type of actual like rating of the writing and like the trigger warning, you know, all those things, like it's bad, and we know it's bad.
She's a terrible person for
like morally too. Yeah, like she whatever with her son, whatever, you know, all the horrible things she's done. Separately from her writing also was just freaking crazy.
Yeah. But we have only read like technically four of her books.
Wait. Oh, because it starts with us. Okay.
Yeah, it ends with us. Ugly Love. Yep. And Heart Bones. Yep. And it starts with us. We have a lot to say for Heart Bones because although the plot, like the story and the writing were terrible. Yeah. It has good unforgettable. We cannot help but like always talk about it.
The jokes were so I was gonna say potent. Like that's the only word I can come up with. Potent. That was potent, man.
It is fresh in our minds every time we think about it.
It is living rent free for sure. I can't get over it. The plot was the craziest in my opinion. Well, there's some crazy ones from what we didn't even read. Like we were going over the summaries of the other books we didn't read, and there's a crazy lineup, but Heartbones still, man.
Heartbones really takes the cake. Yeah. We'll just say tattoo ideas were crazy. Yep. Being on that ferry ride, crazy. His name is not his name.
And she's mad about it.
And she's mad. But yeah, so that's what book club is. This is our tradition. Yep. And, you know, we thought to share this with whomever this comes across.
Yeah, because this is our two-man book club.
This is our two-man book club that we don't have a clever name for.
That's true.
We only call this book club.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are like romance reader book club or
Book travelers.
book travelers or something clever.
Yeah.
We just call ourselves book club.
But I think what's funny is that we're a book club and people are like, "Oh, how many people?" Two. Like, is that a club if there's only two people in it?
And like we've committed enough that it's book club that we cannot. I don't think we can change it.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that would. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So
It's book club.
it's book club with
Yeah.
2 people. I'm Lovelyne,
I'm Kat.
and we're about to read.
And we're about to read.
And we're about to start reading.
Okay.
But yeah, that was lore for us.
Yep.
So the book that we had started reading, which we're going to try and recap as much as we can,
Yes.
is See You Yesterday by Rachel Lynn Solomon.
Yes.
Has a lot to do with time loops.
Yep.
And that I don't know,
Low-key,
butterfly effect type of thing.
Yeah.
And
There's some enemies to lovers in there.
yes,
College setting. You know the deal.
you know the deal.
Yeah, we can we can start summarizing.
So
What's
we're
about?
introduced with our main character Barrett Bloom. It's her
Yep.
first day in college.
Very first day.
Very first day. She had moved in. There was a long bit of us talking about the pasta bowls.
Yeah, because she got there a couple days
Earlier?
before
Yeah.
her roommate was supposed to move in, and she was obsessed with the pasta bowls that the
Yeah.
cafeteria had.
And she had like these used bowls stacked up in her room,
She
and we
refused to throw them away, which is really nasty.
it was gross. And we
Like-
riffed on that for a bit. I think I still have the audio, so I'll probably play it at this point.
Yeah, because I kind of remember it, but all I know was like, why is that shit, like, you're collecting mold in there, and...
I'll do this right. Then the slide unfreezes and Mal doesn't say anything for the rest of class. Good. I have bigger things to worry about.
Interesting.
I don't know, because I feel like, how would you even know if someone else was in a time loop? You know what I mean?
I feel like at that point, if let's say, I don't know how many I say, and the TA, a spectacularly eyelashed a grad student named Grant, snaps out of his sleep and or weed-induced haze and offers me a half smile. Perfect, he says from his chair across the circle. That's how I know he instructed the 20 of us to sit, no desks. I'm a cool TA. This said, Barrett, right?
Like, how many different pastas is there that you would, like, feel like you're trying something new? Like, it's
Right.
just...
They're just the same with different
starch, yeah.
sauces.
And it isn't that different of sauce. Yeah, I feel it was, like, a weird way to get her to be like, "Ah, I'm so different.
I'm so quirky.
Different than other girls." But it's like, you could do that and be like, she's just obsessed with pasta. But it's another thing for, like, the first couple days, that's all she ate.
Yeah.
So, she's
There
kind
was
of
no
a
other, like,
psychopath.
There's no other plates. It was just bowls
Yeah, it's
stacked on
the
each other.
bowls. Yep. And she also has, like, a bunch of, like, the newspaper stuff?
Yeah, she had like I don't know how
Magazines?
current, but like I think like her favorite magazines, and they were like old in her room
Because
because
you know, if you're a writer.
yeah. So we find out that she's a journalist, like
Journalist,
or
yeah.
a aspiring one.
Yeah.
But on move-in day, she is rudely awakened by like
Her
one
new
of-
roommate.
Her new roommate, who I think her name is Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
Who is her nemesis from high school.
Yep.
They were on bad terms, and we find out that they're still on bad terms.
Oh, for sure.
Um,
Yeah, they're both journalist
Oh, yeah.
majors or something.
Yeah.
So they both like were part of the paper, their high school paper
yeah,
committee or whatever, and yeah, she hates her, and you can see that in the first couple pages of their like banter,
mm-hmm.
like just trying to be feisty to one
Yeah.
another, you know.
So then the official first day starts.
Mm-hmm.
We go to like physics class, which is like a class that Barrett did not want to go in. She doesn't. I don't think she liked the class.
She's a writer.
She's a writer. She doesn't believe in it. I don't think.
No.
She was just very passionate that she didn't want to be in that class.
Yeah. didn't even read any of the readings because
Yeah.
she knew she was gonna drop it.
Yeah, she knew she was gonna drop it, and what is it called? She got called on
In class.
in class because this guy, who is important, but we will mention him later,
Yeah.
had called him out. Was like, hey, this girl knows the answer to your question.
Yeah, because he could tell that she was trying to drop out of the class or something.
Yeah,
so
I
he
think-
wanted to like embarrass her or something.
Yeah, because I think she was sitting in front of him
yeah,
and saw like how her laptop or something was just
on the drop
on
button
the
or
drop
something.
just obvious that she was not paying attention.
Yeah.
So she was embarrassed on that, and then following that, she has an interview to be in this college's papers. I don't remember what they're called, but
Yeah.
she was excited. You know, this is like important to her. Had an interview. She walked over. Whoever this person is, she meets them. It's like kind of all dandy.
Yeah, she's doing good at first. Yeah.
She was doing great. And then the interviewer had mentioned this like article that she wrote back in high school.
Yeah.
And then that's when it kind of went downhill.
Yeah, they were like, oh, they turned off the comments for just this article. Like, I'm just curious, like, why is it turned off? Like,
Yeah.
and she was like, well.
Well, and that's when the trauma dumping started happening.
Yeah.
Long story short, she called out these tennis players who were cheating.
Yeah, like academically cheating.
And she just wrote a whole article on that, basically ruining their careers because I think they're like tennis players, right?
Yeah, and she was like, oh, and I think Lucy's boyfriend was on the tennis team.
Yes.
And she was like, just basically ranting, being like, I don't know why they were so mad. Like, I don't care about people's feelings. I'm going to get the truth out there no matter what.
And then that kind of turned the interviewer off a little bit.
Well, maybe not always.
That's not really what we're here for.
Yeah, that's not what we're about. And she basically bombed that interview.
Bombed the interview by being a little too truthful.
Yeah.
Having the wrong intentions again. So that was the second time around.
Yep.
She knew she bombed it, so she was already feeling shitty.
Yeah.
I
I just remembered what else is going. Okay, anyway.
And I think like fast forward, it's going towards nighttime now.
Yeah.
Right. And what's it called? She finds out her roommate Lucy is getting ready because she's going to this what are they called? Sorority
or
like
I think it was a frat party.
A frat
It
party.
was like guys were there. Yeah.
Because then I think it's also like rush week or something like that.
Yeah,
like she
for
wants to
sure.
get in this sorority, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So she's like, we're not gonna be roommates for long because like
I'm gonna move here,
and also I hate you.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm pretty sure she leaves, and then I think like
doesn't invite
her,
Yeah.
or Lucy doesn't invite Barrett,
Yeah.
and I think does Barrett just like follow?
Yeah, she like is like, you know what? I don't want to be alone on my first night, so I'm just gonna. I think I heard her mention where it was, so I'm just gonna go where she said, like, knowing that Lucy was like, "Don't come."
Right.
She was like, "I'm going anyway."
Mm-hmm. And then I think when she's walking towards there, is that where she bumps into Miles?
I don't think. Oh, does she bump into him?
And then they start walking towards the same direction, right? But then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, by the way, Miles is the guy in class. He's very important.
The guy in the chemistry class who called her out.
The physics class.
But yeah, calls her out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is the same guy that is now following her to this party, and they're just talking.
Like bantering. Like they're very enemies to lovers. Kind of like, oh my God, like you were so annoying. Yeah. Like, why'd you do that to me in class? Like, you're
Pretty
such
much.
a know-it-all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they get to this house. I think they. I think they get a little trouble in like trying to get in, and I think Lucy had like done a favor and let her in kind of thing. Somehow, some way, she got into the party, and now she's there.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
She doesn't like the vibe, and she eventually like walks outside.
Also, I remember she was like, she's a little bit on the curvier side, and she noticed that a lot of people were making comments about that too.
Yeah.
So everyone was being a dick to her.
Yeah.
She was like feeling really like in the corner, like wallflower type stuff.
Yeah.
Like she couldn't really make that many friends. And again, the only guy that she talked to was like saying something about her being curvy or something, and she was like,
So she's outside now, and I think like someone was trying to like was intimidating her in a way, or she was just trying to back away from something.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It probably was some frat boy asking her questions or whatever.
Or I think they were playing like frisbee or something. I feel like someone was like playing a sport and then like bumped into her,
Yeah.
which like again isn't her fault.
Nope.
She just gets pushed.
She gets pushed, and this is the crazy part. Okay? Hold your horses. She gets pushed, and she bumps into this tiki torch.
Right, because there's tiki torches outside of the frat house.
Yeah. And it's, obviously it's lit up. It's night. And she gets pushed enough that this freaking tiki torch falls over, and it eventually sets the entire house on fire.
Yeah, like it hit the wall, and I guess it's that flammable that
Yeah.
it sets the whole frat house on fire. And then like everybody was like, oh my God, I saw her bump into it.
Yeah, she did this on purpose type of beat.
Yeah.
And then I think like Lucy, she was upset because like embarrassed because she was the one that let her in.
Yeah.
And like
She's like, I shouldn't have let you in or something.
And in a panic, Barrett runs away.
Yes.
Which
like physically runs
she
away.
physically runs away. Like I don't know if she says anything, but I just know she dashed away so quickly.
Like that makes you look so guilty. Bro.
Like you did do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Like you committed arson.
And then like ran away from the crime.
Yeah.
And like people were saying like, oh my God, there's like so many years of history in this frat house.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. So they were gonna like they hated her. Like I think all on social media they were like hating on her.
Same night, by the way. This is still going on.
First night.
First day
of classes.
And they started like posting about her, being like, this girl's a freaking criminal or whatever. Bashing on her name. And while this is happening, she's still running. She's going towards her dorm.
Right.
And then when she tries to enter her dorm room, and she's like crying and all that.
Yeah.
She tries to open it. It's locked. Finds out Lucy had beat her to it and locked her out.
Which I'm confused. How did she beat her? Because
I think it's because...
Oh, I think she just ran into the street. Like, at first she was just trying to get away, and then she was like, oh, I should go back.
I think Lucy, like, got lost for a bit, and then... Yeah. So then Lucy locked her out. She was basically yelling through the door, being like, you embarrassed me.
Mm-hmm.
You're so embarrassing. You're the worst, kind of thing.
Yeah.
She gets sad. Barrett gets sad, and she sleeps outside the common room. Dude, crazy first day.
That's a horror. I just couldn't get over that she like set a whole building on fire for her first day. Like,
yeah,
like already everyone was hating on her.
Like, she embarrassed herself in class.
Yeah.
Embarrassed herself in front of the interviewer. Embarrassed herself in front of the entire college. Like, what else can you ask for, honestly?
Right. I was saying, I remember when we first read it, I was like, dog, I would leave.
I would transfer.
Yeah, I mean, it's your first day. It's pretty easy to transfer.
Yeah, and like I'm assuming you did good in classes, so like I'm sure they can transfer the credits and stuff. It's not worth it.
Yeah, just apply for spring semester.
Right. Take a semester break.
Yeah, that would mean okay, 3 months.
Yep.
I'm not going to school.
Yep.
That's my sign.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I can clock out.
Yeah. 2 weeks resignation.
2 weeks. Yep. So then she sleeps there and she wakes up
and all cold, like there's no blanket.
Yeah, no blanket.
Like
I think it's like, used furniture too.
Oh,
it's like,
hell.
ew. Yeah. So she wakes up, finds out that her day basically started over.
Yeah. She like wakes up in her bed and she's like, oh, when she let me in, when did I change back into my pajamas?
Yeah. And
Lucy walks in the same exact way she did the day before.
Mm-hmm.
Says the exact same words. And she's like, almost like, damn, this is like deja vu.
Yeah.
But then she checks her calendar and it's the exact same date as the day before.
Yep. And like, I'm sure she does say like like, didn't you say that already? Or like, yes, we
Yeah.
know, like, you can't do this all the time. And then she catches on the fact that she might be repeating the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure she uses this like to her advantage,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Anyways, the next few chapters is just her kind of getting accustomed to like this loop.
Yeah.
She does go to like physics class, realizes something different, but like not too much.
Yeah.
What else after?
I mean, most of it's like, so she, because she, so there's multiple days, right? Or like 2 days go by and she
Yeah.
realizes again the next day it restarts again on her first day of classes. And I think she uses that to her advantage of like being cool with Lucy.
Yeah.
So she figures out how to be cool with Lucy a little bit.
Yep.
It just sucks because they have to restart it every morning.
time.
So every morning Lucy comes in already hating her again.
Yeah.
So back at square one. But yeah, I think only 2 days kind of went by. 3 days went by. It wasn't even a full week.
Yeah. Oh, right. So like with that first day of like having it repeated, but technically the second day, she and Lucy are on good terms. Lucy invites her to the party this time.
Mm-hmm.
That's when she kind of feels like this is like so different.
Mm-hmm.
She's walking with Lucy. Then all of a sudden, this guy jumps at her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's prepared. She's a woman. She sprays this guy with pepper spray.
Yep.
Finds out it's Miles, the guy in her class, her physics class.
Yeah.
And, you know, she feels bad. So then, you know, the whole thing is different now. The whole scenario is different.
Yeah.
And, so instead of going to the party, she goes and helps Miles. She kind of gets to know him a bit, or at least, like, they start to talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they're about to part ways, he tells Barrett, like, see you tomorrow if you decide to keep physics on your schedule, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then Barrett ends it off thinking to herself, being like, I don't think I told him that I was even going to switch out.
Yeah, like, I didn't even sit in front of him this time.
Yeah.
How does he know that I was planning on
Switching out.
switching out?
Yep. So that's when second day of the loop, third day technically,
Yeah.
comes around. And I believe this is where she kind of like reaches out to Miles during physics.
Mm-hmm.
They talk a bit. And then I think it's either Miles or Barrett. They're like, let's meet up after this.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't even go to her interview, I don't think. She
Nope.
basically just changes the entire course and goes to like this library or this common area of some place and meets Miles. They start talking. Miles asks like, how long has she been in this loop?
Yeah.
And she mentions like, this is like my second time or something like that.
Yeah, something like
Or
that.
it's going to be my third time, whatever. And then Miles is surprised and admits that he's been in here for 2 months.
He's like, that's light work.
That's light work. I've been here for years.
Yeah, like, for real, like, welcome to prison.
Welcome to
like,
prison.
Jesus Christ. Like, when I read that, or when we read that, I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, I would clock out.
I would quit.
From this world.
Yeah.
But, like, okay, that's, like, really morbid, but, like, like, if you die.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah.
'Cause then, like, would you wake up
Or, like,
after dying? You
but
know
that'd
what I
be
mean?
scary, like.
Or does it end there?
Yeah, because that would be kind of, that'd be kind of risky.
Yeah.
To be like, we'll see.
Yeah.
Or you won't. And you just die. So, I don't know. That'd be interesting. But, yeah, no, but I would go insane.
Yeah.
Like, I would not be okay. Because he was explaining, like, everything's the exact same.
Yep.
Like, even when he would try to change stuff, for the most part, everything's the exact same every morning. Like, and everything that you get done that day restarts. Like, nothing has a purpose anymore.
Yep. And, like, he is still trying to get out, you know, but in the sense of, like, it's been a while.
He's tried a lot of things.
He's tried a lot of things. He's tried to change outcomes. Nothing's happened.
Mm-hmm.
So then, you know, you'd think, like, these two would, like, group together and kind of figure this stuff out. But they have two different, like, viewpoints of this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Miles is very, like, science-y So he's like, the books are probably gonna have this like answer or something. I'm gonna go. I like read at the library every time to find like an answer. Whereas Barrett, she came to a conclusion being like, I've seen this in movies. Like, we have unfinished business.
This gotta be the universe telling us something. Yeah.
She's like, it's like we have to do a selfless act or something, or we have to find true love.
He's like, bro, what the hell are you on about? Like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, like, you think this is some fairy tale shit? And she's like, well, it's not far off. Like, we thought time travel wasn't a thing, and look at us.
Yeah. So then, with that, Barrett embarrassed, or well, I guess embarrassed herself, but at this point she doesn't care
because she knows it's gonna restart.
It's gonna restart. She gets on a table and's like, "Hey guys, I'm free. I'm single, ready to mingle." And then Miles is embarrassed,
Everyone's
and then
looking at her like, "What the fuck?
What
is she
the hell?"
on?
Yeah. And then they ended off with Miles going to the library, ignoring her, and Barrett being like, I always work alone.
I'm a lone traveler.
Don't they know I work in one pack?
In a one pack.
In a one pack.
Not a 6-pack, it's a 1-pack. I'm individually packaged, thank you.
No.
Yeah, she's so
You can't buy me in bulk.
Individually wrapped. Don't try me.
Don't test me.
Don't test me.
So yeah, that's as far as we have read, and that's been like a couple of months for us.
And we're like not even a third way into the book. I think we're like a fifth, maybe.
We are not even close to the middle of the book.
Well, I think it was only 2 sessions, but like also I think the second time we tried to read, we were just like yapping.
We were
about
talking
something.
Hella,
I don't know. Yeah, because people were coming home and we were in the living room.
Yeah, because just a little bit of a lore for us.
Yeah.
We had dance practice and stuff.
Yeah, for luau, for our school's luau.
Yeah, and it was obviously like Kat and I, we didn't have a dance going on, so we were able to read, but her roommates, because I would go to her place.
Yeah, in our living room.
In their living room.
Yeah.
I almost said our.
Oh, well, 5th roommate type stuff. Yeah.
I was there for a lot of times. But yeah, they would occasionally like come in or like
they would come through the front door, and then obviously they're going to ask what we're reading or whatever. And that was the summary of the beginning
of See You Yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're doing exactly what we said. We're going to be passing the book back and forth.
Yep. Okay. Chapter 10. I don't want it to seem like I went running home to my mom when things got hard. But here I am, in Mercer Island, with my mom. Already homesick? She says when I show up at ink and paper. Then she frowns, stepping out from behind the cash register so she can get a better look at me. Barrett, my darling of darlings, treasure of treasures, please don't tell me this is what you wore on your first day of school. After waiting for the bus in the rain, I can only imagine what I look like. The waistband of my leggings has migrated down to my hips, so I reach down and yank them up. I think the hole in the crotch is getting bigger. Wait,
what?
It'll be a small miracle if I make it through the rest of the day without flashing anyone my underwear patterned with dancing donuts. The rest of the day. Nope. Can't think that far ahead. Because on the other side of the rest of the day is a fucking black hole. Absolutely not, I tell her, and it isn't technically a lie. I changed after my last class. I pass a display of velvet-covered bullet journals we arranged over the summer. Does a daughter need a reason to visit her beloved mother? She ropes me in for a hug, and I inhale the scent of organic rose body butter. Oh my god. Organic rose body butter she uses every day. I was like, why is that a tongue twister? Organic rose body butter she uses every day. Is it pathetic to say that I miss you? She says. The house just isn't the same without your wisecracks. When I try to laugh, the sound gets lodged in my throat. See, I'm just looking out for you. My mom releases me and rummages for something behind the counter. As expected, she's in jeans and a graphic tee with a pencil sketch of the Seattle skyline. Oh yeah, they go to school at UW.
Yes, that's right.
Yep.
So, you people at UW,
Yeah.
if you
is this
happen
accurate?
to be, is this accurate?
Do all of you guys get stuck in a time loop?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. Comment down below.
Comment down below. Am I right?
Am I right, guys? Okay. We have the same shape, curves in places I used to think were supposed to be straight lines until I realized that was bullshit. I've always
Period.
I know, that's funny. I've always wanted to be as fearless as about my body as she is. And even if I'm halfway there on most days, she carries hers with confidence for longer than I have. And sometimes I wonder if I'll ever get there. The major difference is our hair. Hers is dark blonde and cut short, while I have my dad's side of the family to thank for the tight ringlets. Now that you're here, look what showed up yesterday. When she holds up a package of greeting cards, I don't even bother fighting back a squeal. I know exactly what they are, only because we've been talking for the past few months about the new Seattle company that made them, using only found materials and 2 gorgeous vintage letter presses we toured over the summer. They're even more perfect in person, I say, reaching out to stroke one. Greetings from the Pacific Northwest, the card says, in a perfect blue font swirled with raindrops that drip when I run my thumb along them. I'll take 20. My mom tidies up the shop, getting ready to close for the evening, while I hop onto the counter after she insists she doesn't need my help. It's not quite as seamless as a hop as it was when I was younger, sitting up here and sorting inventory for her. The shop has been downtown Mercer Island staple for the past 9 years, almost as long as the Blooms. My mom grew up in Seattle and lived with her parents until she graduated college with a business degree, then moved the 2 of us into a microscopic studio apartment. Mercer Island had been toured as this idyllic Pacific Northwest suburb, the perfect place to raise a family. Plus, there was more space than she had in the city. She found the storefront and the apartment to rent in a single weekend, which she said felt like fate. And her sharp eye and incredible taste made ink and paper an almost instant success. But Mercer Island was also a place where the line between haves and haves not was especially stark. By the time we moved into a house, my classmates were remodeling and upgrading and excavating their backyards to add swimming pools. My mom switches off the lights and locks the doors, and I follow her out to the car. How do twice-baked potatoes sound? Like cheesy, carby perfection. A pause, and then, you okay if Jocelyn comes over for dinner tonight too? Why wouldn't I? She practically lives here anyway. True, but even so, it's quieter without you here. I didn't expect that. Her expression changes, turning wistful maybe. I thought that I was prepared to be an empty nester, which still sounds like something I'm nowhere near old enough to be. I know it's only the first week, and it'll get easier for the both of us. It will, I say, hoping I sound more reassuring than I feel. Now that I'm off campus, I can breathe a little easier. The air out here is less stifling, almost letting me believe it's no longer September 21st. Hey, that's coming up.
Hey.
Not really, but like still.
In a bit.
In a bit. Maybe that's it. The university is cursed, and if I fall asleep here, I'll wake up where I'm supposed to be. Unless I can't wake up on Wednesday if I simply don't go to sleep. I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. So, are you going to tell me what happened? My mom asks as we pull into the garage. Who said something happened? Barrett, I know you. Your tone is weird, and you're wearing moppy clothes. Even if I have been wondering where that sweatshirt went. It's so soft and perfectly worn. Exactly, that's why it's my favorite. I really am fine, I tell her, pushing the words past my teeth. It's an effort, but I manage it. It's just been an adjustment. Her dark eyes search my face for a long moment, as though trying to find evidence of something being wrong in the faint freckles across my cheeks and the bend of my chin. Then her phone lights up in the cup holder. That'll be Jocelyn. She just got off of work. Fortunately, cooking is enough to distract my mom from what may or may not be wrong with me and or the universe. We busy ourselves in the kitchen, grating cheddar and scooping innards out of potatoes until Jocelyn shows up. And it's only when I hear her voice that I remember. Jocelyn is planning to propose to my mom tomorrow night. In the chaos of the past 3, but cross out 3 days, I completely forgot. A few weeks ago, she volunteered to take me shopping for the last-minute dorm essentials. After we filled the trunk of her Kia Soul with notepads and staplers and silverware, we stopped for tacos and she showed me her grandmother's ring, a shimmering emerald. Jocelyn is a lawyer, and I've never heard her voice shake as much as it did when she talked to me about the proposal. She wasn't asking for my permission, nothing as archaic as that, but she wanted to take my temperature on it first. My temperature is off the charts, I told her emphatically. I have a fever, and the only prescription is you proposing to Molly Bloom. Molly? Jocelyn calls from the hall, deep red lips curving into a grin when she stops me. Double Bloom! I thought we weren't going to see you until Thanksgiving. My stomach lurches. I want to be happy to see her, this shred of familiar normalcy that I've missed over the past few days. I want that feeling from the drive home, sun on my face, and a sense that everything might be okay, when in actuality, I'm stuck in the day right before what might be one of the happiest moments of my mom's life. Wishful thinking? I ask, clinging to the hope that sleeping here, or perhaps not sleeping at all, would jumpstart my timeline. After she kisses my mom hello, Jocelyn lassos me for a hug. Never. She hangs her coat on the back of a kitchen chair and runs a hand through her long dark hair. Over the years, my mom has dated both men and women, and as far as I know, Jocelyn's her longest relationship. They met 2 years ago at her shop when Jocelyn Theory, a willowy brunette with penchant for bright lipstick, who terrified most of the other lawyers at her firm, lamented the difficulty of finding wedding cards for queer couples, and my mom proudly pointed her toward Ink and Paper's inclusive selection. She came back every weekend searching for a different kind of card until she ran out of people to mail them to and bought one to send to my mom, asking her out.
Aww.
The framed card hangs in our living room, a tiny hedgehog holding a bouquet of flowers with Jocelyn's neat cursive inside. It must be a side effect of growing up in a stationery shop that I'm so eager to see the cards flood in for my mom and Jocelyn. Aside from me, she's been the steadiest person in my mom's life. Even though we had help from my mom's parents, they weren't wealthy. She built her store from the ground up, rarely taking a day off, and she hadn't left the West Coast before she met Jocelyn. She'd been wholly focused on the store and on me, anxious to give herself permission to even get out of King County. Jocelyn's adventurous streak and love for travel have made my mom lighter, more fully herself, someone capable of taking vacations and hiring another employee to watch the shop while she's gone. She's never been happier than when she's with Joss, especially except for when she's with me, but it's a different kind of happiness. And especially now that I'm in college, I hate the idea of her spending nights and weekends with only Netflix for company. Whether their timelines are slowed down like Miles said, or simply suspended in space somehow, or somewhere, I have to get out. For all of us. That's so sad.
Aww.
Like, she feels like they're reliving it. Even though they're not, it's like their lives are on hold. Oh, that's so
until
sad.
the time being. Especially knowing that, like, her mom's about to get engaged again.
And it's, like, halted.
Yeah.
But, like, I bet that it doesn't feel that way. Like,
right.
this is just, like, all-time
Yeah.
restarting. So it's not like they feel it, but still
Yeah.
it's sad. I mean, mostly it's just sad for Barrett.
I know.
Because, like, she just has that knowledge, you know? So
and
that
she has to,
sucks.
like, live all this, and then it's just going to be, like, gone.
Yeah,
the
like,
next
it
time
never
she
happened.
sleeps.
Yeah. Jocelyn leans against the opposite counter, munching on a handful of cheddar cheese. Her blunt bangs skim the tops of her eyebrows, a look I'd never be able to pull off. So did your elusive roommate finally make an appearance? Unfortunately. I line up the potatoes on a baking sheet. Do you remember Lucy Lamont? Editor-in-chief of The Navigator? Lucifer in tiny human form? Jocelyn exaggerates a shudder. Lucy and I were already past tense when she and my mom started dating. Oh, yeah, because Lucy and Barrett were best friends before when they were growing up.
Yep.
So she would be bringing her over to the house. Like, they were besties, but then they grew apart.
They grew apart because, usually, well, high school.
Yeah, she got popular.
She got popular and Barrett remained herself.
Yeah, and then she started dating the
tennis player, and then the whole thing happened.
Exactly.
Got it.
Lucy and I were already past tense when she and my mom started dating. Then realization settles on her face. No, she's your roommate? My mom looks up. My mom looks up from the potato. I'm like moving the mic as if you can still hear me. My mom looks up from the potatoes. You didn't mention that. She's thinking, because it's been 3 days and the shock's worn off. It was definitely a surprise at first. They had to do some last minute reorganizing, but I think she's joining sorority, so either I'll be roommateless again or I'll get someone new. My college roommate and I talk every weekend, Jocelyn says. Carrie, you met her when she came to visit last year. I still remember when we flooded our sorority's second floor in winter and it froze because, Minnesota. We turned it into an ice skating rink, which was pretty epic until the floor caved in.
Oh.
Law school was a little more serious, but undergrad was a wild time. God, college, they really were the best 4 years of your life. She turns on a smile from my mom. Except for the year I met Molly Bloom, and every day I've been fortunate enough to spend with her since then. My mom opens the oven and slides potatoes in. I'm sure college was great for everyone who wasn't raising a screeching, vomiting infant, she says. I thought you always said I was a good baby. Sure, but you were still a baby. You must be confusing me with someone else. I'm pretty sure I was one of those babies who never pooped or spit up.
Just never pooped?
Absolutely not.
That's crazy to say.
It would just disintegrate.
It would just disappear in my stomach.
Yep. I just thought about the Barbie dog. I don't know why. Just like showed up with like how you would feed it the pebbles, but it would just poop out the same pebble.
Yeah. Ew. Is that what she thought she was?
Yeah, that's what she thought she was. She was a Barbie dog. Just keep believing that. Let us know who you end up with, Jocelyn says, so we can plan to intimidate them into submission if necessary.
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn? That's
you
inappropriate.
need to relax.
That's inappropriate.
That's inappropriate. You're about to get engaged.
Come on. My mom grabs a spatula, flicking blonde hair out of her face as she brandishes it like a weapon. We show no mercy. Not anyone who double crosses the Blooms. Jocelyn follows suit, swiping up a wooden ladle and thwacking her palm with it. I know thwacking is a crazy word. No mercy, not from the kitchen utensil gang, she says in this dark, evil voice that makes my mom break characters, dissolving into laughter. Please, she thinks, I send into the universe. Please let me find out what happens. Please let Lucy rush a sorority. Please let me have September 22nd. Break. I used to take a lot of pride in my room. Oh, it's a complete mess, a hazard zone, but there's a hominess that I'm not sure I'd be able to replicate in a dorm. Far too many throw pillows, nav articles pinned to the bulletin board, and an arc of greeting cards clipped into a clothesline. I'm a stationery hoarder. I save them because I can't bear to part with them. Stickers and washi tape and cards and notebooks. I own at least a dozen floral journals, all of them blank. That's a waste of paper.
That is. And money.
But
I also felt that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about floral. Actually, floral can be pretty.
Floral, I think just the idea of having journals.
Or a bunch of stationery.
Yeah, stationery, but maybe not specifically floral.
Yeah.
But, like, that could be a vibe, unless they're, like, the ones with, like, the flowers, and then they have, like, a gold cursor that says notes, you know?
Notes. Take every day like it's your last.
Oh, it's crazy. There's a lot of bees on it. It's like, be mine or something like that. Or be the you want to be. Buzz. Just like
who you are is good enough. Yeah, it's some crazy. Yeah, no, it's just some like tacky font with like glitter on it. Or something. Yeah, those are bad.
Those are real bad. I see those a lot at like Ross.
I tried to find a cute notebook for my class, and I was like, why'd I go to Ross for the notebook? I was like, oh, okay, it's cheap, and you know they have a lot of cute stuff, but not their notebooks or planners. Those are then really bad.
They're like the squishy cover, and then like you see like the what's it called, the lining of like the paper, it's gold.
Yes, that's how you know. I'm like, bro.
And sometimes some of those books are always like, this is for Jesus.
Yeah. And John 4:58.
It's like, these notes are for the Lord. Lord eyes only. Like, like and it's still foamy.
Yeah, why is it so thick?
Why is it thick and squishy?
But yeah, so no, okay, we're getting to okay. Journals are cool.
Journals are cool.
I was about to go into it, but yeah. Anyways,
sorry, we do this a lot too.
Yes. Okay. It's a side effect of my mother owning a stationery shop, but they're also just very cute. Then there's the How Do I Love Thee cross stitch, the one my mom made when I was a baby, hanging above my bed. It's imperfect, stray threads scattered throughout, but I've always loved it. And yet tonight there's something about it that makes my heart ache. For the past few months, it's been painful keeping prom from her. Oh yeah, she didn't end up going to prom because of it or something, or
oh yeah, like I guess she was so humiliated enough that like
she was hated on that
she
bad.
Was hated.
Yeah.
That she couldn't enjoy a lot of like, you know, high school things like prom.
Damn.
That sucks.
Was it worth it?
I know, cuz she had some ill intentions, you know.
I think
but I understand where she was coming from.
Yeah, like they're the dicks at the end of the day, right? Like the tennis players.
They shouldn't have cheated.
They shouldn't have cheated, and if
and like, you know, she used her platform to do so, but I think like people just, you know, it's like a clique thing, basically. If you're popular, then like you
like one person doesn't like somebody, you're done for.
Yeah. And yeah, so I guess like her high school experience got ruined because of that article.
Snitches, man. Like, and I say that, like, don't cheat. And if all of them are cheating and they're like getting a good grade for cheating, like that's not right. But like, you gotta think of your social standing. Like, you gotta know that you're gonna come off like a snitch, and that you're like publicly humiliating a bunch of people over something you could have done privately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think there's a right person in the situation. Like,
everyone's the a-hole.
Yeah. Everyone
sucks.
Yeah. Everyone sucks here. Yeah, exactly. R/. Yeah, exactly. Okay, but yeah, so she didn't go to prom. Keeping prom from her. It was easy to say yes when Cole asked me. He sat beside me in AP US government all year, and he seemed smart and kind and generally well liked. Then it was easy to say yes to the hotel room he reserved for us. Oh wait. Oh, okay. She ended up going. We just completely made that all up. Oh.
So we're actually the writers.
So we're liars. No.
We are huge liars.
We just gaslit you. How does it feel?
How does it feel? Comment down below.
Comment down below r/who's the asshole. No. But okay, so she said, then it was easy to say yes to the hotel room he reserved for us, and yes again when he asked if I was sure. And after I told him I've never done this before. Someone wanted me, and maybe it wasn't the way I imagined being wanted, but it was happening. 3 years as an outcast, and the sudden attention was almost overwhelming. Oh, then came the flowers in my locker, the hashtag, the too late revelation that Cole's brother had had been on the tennis team. Oh, wait. Okay, it's kind of coming back to me.
Kind of for me, but
I think it was orchestrated. I think he asked her out to prom
yeah.
on a bet or something.
Okay.
Because she was well hated. They were like, or it was like a dare or something like that.
Right.
He was like, okay, I'll like see if I can sleep with her or something.
Yeah, 'cause that's right. 'Cause she was known as like, I don't know if like they said virgin, but like they
Yeah.
knew she was pure.
Yeah.
Ew.
Weird. Pure as snow.
Pure.
Ew.
That's nasty.
So, okay, I say all that. Okay, I take it all back. They're the assholes.
Yeah.
What?
Just
Jesus. Again, I lied again.
double liar.
Oh my God. Ew.
That's gross.
That's so sad. That is actually really traumatizing.
See, I understand why Barrett like didn't care for the fact that she exposed them.
Yeah.
It was like a, what did you even call it? A petty revenge? It was, you know.
It's not really petty.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
like,
is it just straight up revenge?
yeah, I
then?
think it's, well, I guess petty revenge in the way of it's not like the craziest thing to do to somebody.
Yeah.
Like you exposing them isn't like you sabotaging their whole like life or something. But
Well,
still.
Didn't they get off a scholarship though?
Oh, so it's pretty big.
So it was huge. 'Cause
True.
they, I guess like her school, like the tennis team for, you know, honestly better than football.
Yeah.
The tennis team was
Kind of
just
disappointed
so-
in them.
yeah, which is really like good, and they got like a scholarship to like a college, or like they were just sponsored or something, and
Yeah.
then Barrett's article came out, and then it ruined their chances of school, I guess.
But like, whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that? You were the ones that like,
Yeah, had academic dishonesty. The frick.
yeah,
She was just announcing it
yeah,
to many people.
to plenty of people.
But who's counting? Barrett defender.
Barrett defender till we die.
As I was like 2 minutes ago saying like, she was kind of an asshole.
She's
She's
kinda
a
weird for
snitch.
that.
Yeah. Nah, she can do no wrong.
Cuts to us like months ago when we were making fun of her for her pasta bowls.
Yeah. Barrett defender.
Barrett defender though.
Through and through. Then came the flowers in my locker, the hashtag, the too late revelation that Cole's brother had been on the tennis team. How stupid and powerless and small I felt when, after 4 days of roses and tulips, I went to see the principal. "You're upset because someone put flowers in your locker?" he said with a laugh. "I know a lot of young ladies who'd love to be in your position."
Ew.
I mean,
Yeah, you did a good job trying to make him sound gross. I know a lot
of women
would like that.
I know a lot.
Yeah, man.
He just sounds like some type of like seal or something. Like
The one SpongeBob character, the surfer dude.
yeah. Oh, you're upset because someone put. Over the summer, I told my mom I'd had sex, but not what happened afterward. She said I could tell her everything, or I could tell her nothing, whatever I was comfortable with. And for maybe the first time in my life, I told her nothing. Oh, someone knocks on my door. "I'm having emotions seeing you in here like this," my mom says when she pushes it open. There's a wistful thread in her voice. I can't remember hearing even when she dropped me off at UW. "That screeching, vomiting baby is all grown up?" She joins me on the bed, tucking a wayward curl behind my ear. As always, it doesn't obey. Something like that. I bring my legs up onto the bed, wincing when the crotch seam of my leggings rip a bit more. Girl, take them off.
Change. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna matter, but still.
Still, like, why are you sitting in something that's ripping? Oh, then she restarts the day with it being slightly less big.
Yeah, and then she can change out of it.
Girl, get new leggings. Again, it won't matter, but like hopefully when you get out of this.
I don't even remember how it started ripping.
Yeah,
We
that
didn't.
detail kind of flew over.
Yeah, we didn't read the book back. We just skimmed. So
yeah.
we can't answer that question.
But I also, even if I did, why is that the detail that they chose?
Why are we still on this detail?
I'm so tired. Okay. Mom, if something were going on with me, you'd want to know, right? I knew it, she says. I knew there was a reason you seemed off. Then her mouth falls open. Barrett Bloom, do not tell me you're pregnant. I lay my hand on my stomach and flash her the biggest grin. It's twins. You're going to send me into an early death. I'm the light of your life. Unfortunately, I'm not pregnant. A few deep breaths as I weigh what to say next. As disastrously as it ended, talking to Miles helped. Telling my mom would make me feel even better. In the sliver of chance she believes me, maybe she'd know what to do. I'm a time traveler.
That's crazy.
The fuck?
Would you rather hear that or that someone's pregnant?
I know. She's like, if this is your way of trying to, like, keep the bit going. No, but, like.
At your grown age, are we playing imagination?
Are you playing pretend right now?
Are you playing pretend right now? Stop that.
Stop that. I haven't figured out the right words yet. Miles called it an anomaly, but time anomaly doesn't have the same ring to it. I can't help wondering what he's doing this evening, how many books he's buried his face in, if he's made any breakthroughs without me. Oh, that's it? We can deal with that, she says, matter of fact. Where are you traveling from? Did you come from the future to tell us we're in grave danger? A meteor is about to hit Earth? No, wait. I don't want to know. Mom, I'm being serious. So am I. I really don't want to know. I could riff off of her joke, a rhythm the two of us know very well, and yet the truth comes tumbling out, desperate for her to hear it. I've kind of lived this day before. Well, not this exact day. I haven't seen you today yet, but okay, so I had this really terrible first day, like first day. I run through what happened, ending with Zeta Kappa, aware I sound like I'm explaining the plot of a movie and not something I actually experienced. And I may have set a frat house on fire. No. My mom springs her to her feet, no longer playing along. You what? I hold up my hands, urging her to sit back down. No. It didn't actually happen. Or, it did, but in another timeline? I'm not exactly clear of how all of this works, but, because when I woke back up in my room, it was September 21st again, and then it happened this morning too. 18 years, and I finally found a way to render Molly Bloom speechless. Some part of me thought that instinctuously, sure, as a result of us sharing a body for 9 months and then the same small space for nearly 2 decades, she'd know this is real. Instead, after a few silent, agonizing seconds, recognition crosses her face. She lets out a laugh. Oh, is this for your psych class? Some kind of experiment? I don't have psych until tomorrow, I want to say. Said I give in, forcing a smile onto my face, while a strange, lonely sadness grips me. You got me. Psych experiment. Well, you're welcome here anytime, my mom says, even if you're trying to break into my brain. Right. Thank you. I drag my fingertips along the paisley bedspread, trying to sound casual, as though I'm not at all concerned about getting my timeline moving at the right frequency again. Is it okay if I sleep here tonight? On one condition. She pats my knee. I say this with all the kindness in the world. You have to throw out those leggings. End the night with an absolute roast.
That is great.
Because she ain't wrong.
She is not wrong.
She's
why?
Like, honey, why can I see your underwear?
Why can I see an opening there?
Why is it 3 inches big?
Why do I see donuts? Is that what she said?
She said she dancing
had dancing donuts.
Honey. Also, why do you still have that underwear?
You were 18. You had those since you were 3.
Ew. Yeah, and why does it still fit? Honey, those are nasty.
That's gross.
That's nasty of you. Take those off. Rip them off. Burn them.
We'll go to Victoria's Secret. We'll get her
Get
secrets.
you something. Get her secrets and some new frickin' underwear from you. You loser.
Not the mom. You
Shame.
dork.
Frickin' weirdo. Silly goose. Get some new leggings. You ugly. Bye bye.
You had to sneak in that ugly.
Good night.
Good night. Love you. Missed you.
Okay.
All right.
That was end of my chapter.
We're going to end this recording.
Okay.
Because we did add in a lore. We talked about our lore.
It's been going for a long time.
Yeah. So, this is the end of our first episode.
Yes.
But we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
And if you want to read along,
buy it in our link. No. We get
you'll get it at our storefront.
There's also our Amazon storefront if you guys are looking for new leggings.
Yeah. And we also have a link to the donut underwear.
And maybe some cuter ones
Yeah.
as well. That aren't weird. Little weirdo.
Silly goose.
Silly goose. So some watches for the time travel whole thing.
We drop merch for everything of the book.
Dude, that'd be sick.
That'd be crazy.
Like
One day.
when we get that famous.
Just that popular.
Yeah, when we get that many followers.
But anyways, we will see you guys another time.
Goodbye, book clubbers.
Bye, clubbers.
Bye, clubbers.